Welcome to today's WordStream webinar, the 20-minute PPC Workweek. We're really excited you were able to join us. My name's Callie, and I'm here to get things started. I just want to get some of the logistics out of the way so we can get straight to the fun, and I can hand it over to our experts today. Following our presentation, you will receive an email with today's recording, slides, and contact information for our speaker should you have any follow-up questions. We'll also have dedicated time for Q&A following the presentation, so be sure to submit your questions throughout the webinar, and we'll get to as many as possible. And I urge you not to be shy and definitely submit anything you're questioning. That's why we're here. We're here to help. For those of you who are not familiar with WordStream, we are a search marketing software provider with free and paid tools to help you easily grow your AdWords and Bing campaigns, and recently Facebook. So we can help you make a big and positive impact in your paid search efforts, which our presenters today will go into a lot more detail about. Now, we encourage you to be vocal and social throughout the presentation and join in on the conversation on Twitter with the hashtag PPC20, and definitely follow us at WordStream for all the latest and greatest. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our speakers today. First up, we have Sean Cruz, who is one of our agency team leads. He has 9+ years of PPC experience and is a certified AdWords professional.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming.
Next up, we have Jeff Walsh. He also is a Google AdWords professional and has over 4 years of PPC experience. So we have a very qualified group of experts here today.
Hey everybody, thanks very much for joining the call. I appreciate it. Really excited to show you how we can help you guys out.
Great. Now let's quickly go over the agenda for today's call. First, we're going to talk about how to manage more accounts in less time. Then we'll move on to how you can get better results for all of your PPC clients. And then we'll close out by showing you how to make your PPC more profitable for your business. And as I mentioned, we will have dedicated time for Q&A, so please do not be shy. Now, before we get started, we really want to learn a little bit more about you guys so that we can cater the content to you all this afternoon. So I'm going to launch a quick poll to say, do any of the following hold you back from achieving your PPC goal? So maybe it's your bandwidth, your results, maybe it's efficiency, your pitch process, or maybe you don't have the expertise. So we'll give you a quick minute to submit those answers. Do you guys have a gut feeling on what that's going to be today?
You know, I have a sneaking suspicion just based on a lot of conversation we have with folks. It might be the efficiency, but I'm excited to hear what everybody has to say on the call.
Cool. All right, so let's close this out and share the results. So drum roll. So looks like you're spot on, Jeff. So 36% of our audience today is struggling with efficiency, while it's kind of pretty evenly spread throughout the other 4. So next up, in trying to get to know you all, what area of your workflow causes the most headaches? Is it the search query report management, ad copy optimization, bid management, keyword management and optimization, or reporting? Sean, what do you think the answer here is going to be, the majority?
Well, they're obviously all important, but I think search query management or reporting is going to take the cake here.
All right. I'm going to chime in and say reporting. That's always a tricky one for everybody. So drum roll, let's share out the results. And it looks like reporting won, followed by keyword management and optimization. So hopefully the guys here can help all of you with all of those pain points that you have. So I'll hand it over to our experts to get started.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the introduction, Callie. I really appreciate it. So I know that a lot of you guys just said that reporting was a pretty big headache for you. So we'll certainly spend a lot of time on that, and nice little segue here. I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever seen our AdWords performance grader. We've graded at this point, I think, a little over $6 billion in spend, so certainly have seen quite a bit of data over the years. Essentially, like at a high level, what the performance grader does is it gives you an understanding of key core metrics in your client's accounts, from optimization that needs to be taken place, to where your conversions are coming from, number of conversions, cost per conversion, and it provides this audit for you in just a matter of seconds. So like I say, it provides a lot of clarity on what's going on. One of the cool parts of this, and what I really recommend this for agencies, is it really helps streamline your prospecting. So I can imagine, when you get a new client and you're going into the meeting, going in and identifying some quick areas to be able to show them how you can help is pretty time consuming and difficult. So you just run our performance grader. It's a white label tool, and it just, like I say, gives you that understanding on what's taking place, can really help out with that prospecting to make this a much more efficient process.
All right, so moving on to kind of the foundation of PPC. I mean, tracking conversions, I think this is a very basic concept. I'm sure everyone here on the phone is familiar with it, but what we find when we help our agency clients out there is that some people leak conversions. It's important to be tracking not only web forms, things like that, but all conversions. It's all about capturing the value that you guys are driving to your clients, so you can communicate that to them on a regular basis. So then inevitably when they look at that bottom line, they know that you guys are are money well spent. From an advanced perspective, it's also important to have the proper goal set as a conversion, and this is something that we talk about with our clients a lot. I always like to use an example of like maybe a B2B client out there. Like it's you might have conversions that are more top of the funnel, some that are more bottom of the funnel. You want to make sure you're aligned with what the goal is for that kind of traffic, so you can really get a good sense of what's working and what's not.
To kind of piggyback off that point too, like I'm sure a number of your clients, while form fills are going to be paramount, it's really important to get an understanding on what's going to be making their phone ring. So this is like a big area that we help folks out with, and it makes the suggestions and everything that we're going to be talking about a little later a lot more relevant. So what we help a lot of people out with is call tracking, and it's keyword level call tracking. So if somebody searches specifically for your client, they see their ad on Google or Bing, they give them a call, then we're able to track that phone call back to the keyword that generated it. We also have a full reporting suite, which again was one of the bigger headaches for you folks, identifying the name of the person that called, the time, the length of the call, and then certainly we can report back to the actual keyword that generated it. Just from like a bidding perspective, this is going to be really important for you guys to be able, from a management side. If one keyword's getting 10 phone calls and the other one's getting 0, then let's put some muscle behind the keyword that's generating 10 and scale back on the one that's getting 0. Unfortunately, there's really no real way to be able to decipher this unless you have some call tracking in place, and this is an area that we really help folks out with. So we can kind of segue into the 20-minute work week part of the software. Here we'll go through a lot of the issues that you guys have identified there when we asked the poll question, and to kind of explain how it works, how we're going to be able to help achieve those PPC goals that you guys had put forward.
Yeah, so I'll jump in there, Jeff, and really just give you guys a quick overview. Now, this is stuff that we're covering that if you guys have a great, fast way to do it, that's awesome. Like, these are things that are going to help address all those kind of core problems that we talked about. But really what the 20-minute work week portion of our tool is designed to do is to just help minimize the amount of time it takes for you guys as agencies to deliver great results for your clients, right? So when we talk about profitability and building a healthy PPC revenue stream, maximizing your bandwidth, it's making sure that we're doing these things on a regular basis in as little time as possible, what it's all about here. So we'll just kind of jump into a few of the areas here, starting with negative keywords. So what our software does, it goes into your search query report every single week, so you don't have to. Looks for things that your client is spending money on that aren't working, things that are showing signs of, that they might be irrelevant from a click-through rate perspective, etc. We bring those opportunities to you. Where we stop is the point of action. So we will automate the analysis, just bring the most important opportunities to you guys every single week for you who know the client's business way better than any software could to accept or reject the changes. I think one of the biggest things that agencies like about this is if you find a great negative keyword, you don't have to go in yourself to every single campaign and set it as a negative. With 2 clicks of a mouse, you can set it as an account level negative and just move on.
To piggyback off of that point, obviously, like when you're going through your query management, certainly you're going to find negatives, but there's also going to be a lot of really good search terms that you want to bid on directly. So a lot of times, like when we look at accounts, and if this happens to you guys too, like I'm sure it's going to resonate. Sometimes you'd be bidding on a generic keyword. So what we'll be looking at here would be if somebody was going to bid on like a photo booth rental. Now, there's going to be a lot of different ways that folks are going to be searching aside from just photo booth rental. So if you see there like holiday party photo booth, much more specific to what this client is actually going to be doing. So when you bid on those really good long tail keywords that are ultra specific to what your client does, not only does it alleviate the competition level associated with the generic keyword that you're already currently bidding on, but it's also going to lower the cost per click because the competition level is not going to be there, also giving you the boss page position. So the way that we make the recommendations here is we identify these really good long tail search terms that have generated high amount of click-through rates, but then have also generated conversions. So we know that they're working well. If we start bidding on this, this is going to get us the better page slot, lower our cost per click, cost per conversion, and be able to generate more leads for the client. Again, just like the negatives, this is an automated part where we're doing all the heavy lifting data analyzation for you, putting it right to the forefront. And then to Sean's point, you guys know these clients' businesses significantly better than any software would be able to. So you can go ahead and take action. Couple like quick little things that are huge time savers for agencies. We allow you to toggle interchangeably between the campaigns and the ad groups. So if you identify a good long tail that might not belong in the ad group or the campaign that it's showing up in, no sweat. You can toggle interchangeably right here in this interface. You can also set your clickable match types right from here, so no more like plus signs, brackets, quotation marks, anything like that. Everything's click to edit, and then you also set your bid right from this interface here too. So it's really just kind of like a one-stop shop for query report management.
Well done, Jeff. I hope everybody's having fun out there. This is kind of halftime of our PPC work week. So moving on to ad copy, I'm sure everyone's doing this on how regular a basis. I mean that's something that I think we all kind of struggle with, but what our software does is it's just going to constantly be A/B testing the ads across your account and just bringing the poorest performers to your attention every week, reminding you of the keywords that are driving the most impressions so we can be especially relevant, and just the best practices that we found through the analysis of all our data that show to lead to higher click-through rates. I know that some of you are probably going through the expanded text ad conversion or transition right now. I talk to a lot of people who are kind of struggling through that. It is something that our software can help you with, our team can help you with. We feel your pain. Ultimately, you can go ahead and kind of format them properly and kind of get them going with some shortcuts quickly here.
Awesome. Yeah, ETAs are giving everybody a headache, as I'm sure they are with you guys, and so we're really prepared to be able to help out. Obviously, everything we've talked about up until this point has really hit on that efficiency side of managing accounts, and I know that was the biggest headache that you guys had said throughout the questions there. I'm hoping that this will resonate pretty true with you guys as well. Bid management. So if you have multiple accounts, I would imagine that going through, looking at every single keyword and checking out bids for every single keyword in all of your accounts is a pretty daunting task. So what we do is we do all that heavy lifting data analyzation for you, much like the rest of what we've gone over so far. And we just tell you the keywords that are performing really well, but then also some keywords that aren't performing so well. So for the ones that are performing well, we'll make recommendations for you to scale up a little bit on the bid, but then on the flip side, if it's underperforming, then you can scale back down. The goal of the work week is never to increase the client's budget, just to be able to get the most out of what we've set forward. There are a number of different rules that you can create from within the platform, so you can set it up for cost per click rules, cost per conversion rules, page position rules, just to name a few, that are really going to be specific to the goals that your client has set forward. So again, we just bring these to the forefront for every single one of your clients, and with a couple clicks of your mouse, you're done managing the bids for the week, until you come back in and check next week, and we've got a full, fresh new set of alerted bids for you.
Yeah, I think just to kind of add one piece there, Jeff, to the bidding alert is, I think what a lot of clients like about it is it's kind of a strategy in the box here. You'll notice, if you guys can see on the screen, that really what we're looking to do is to make these small incremental changes on a weekly basis and let the data show us whether these changes are working or not. What that does from an agency perspective is that allows us to build these small successes every week into long-term, big, impactful, positive change for your client. Never letting us get too far off track, but when you are reporting now, those charts keep going up and to the right, and that's what keeps clients happy, on board, and paying that monthly recurring revenue. But I'm going to move on to reviewing costly keywords. So this really ties in directly with the bidding tool, because what we do is across your entire account, and that's what really a lot of people who have really big accounts love about this. Rather than logging in and following the data, the words and the numbers, we bring these things to you. We'll bring your most expensive keywords, things that are eating up the majority of your budget, either not converting or are converting but at the highest cost across the account. The theory is if we can back off of these things, the bidding tool will automatically start to redistribute these funds towards the things that are converting at the lowest possible cost to help maximize whatever it is that your client is comfortable spending from a budgetary perspective. The beauty there is if you're driving great results, we feel like they will want to spend more with you depending on their business situation. And we hope you guys are priced in a way that you can make more money when they spend more money with you, because that's all profit. That doesn't add any more work.
Okay, awesome. And again, like up until this point too, like every single one of your clients gets all of these alerts every single week, and then you guys do the optimization. So it's set up similar to the way that the MCC is set up. You just click into your different accounts. We'll tell you the accounts that have the most opportunity and the accounts that have been logged into last. So that way you can stay on top of what's going on. Again, the idea here is to just make you guys significantly more efficient. This is one of the last alerts in the work week. It's a really cool alert. I can imagine if you guys have taken on new accounts that were previously managed maybe by the company themselves or managed by a different agency that maybe wasn't doing a great job. A lot of times there'll be duplicate keywords in there with showing up in different ad groups. So obviously if you're going to be using like a stack bidding approach and bidding on the same keyword using different match types, we don't flag those. These are in different ad groups using the same match type, so essentially you're just bidding against yourself. So we just run a scan every single week on the account just to make sure that this isn't happening. Again, the idea here is to drive down cost per click for your clients so that there's less competition associated with it, but negating the need for you to go in and look at every single keyword every week for every single one of your accounts. Again, I can imagine that's a pretty daunting task. We're just going to do it for you. A couple clicks of your mouse and you're done. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up for the alert-based system of the work week. If you guys have any questions on what we've gone over there so far, please chime in. We're more than happy to address any and all questions or concerns that you have. Segueing into the reporting. So I know that this was one of the bigger issues that you guys had identified at the beginning of the call. So if you check out the success report there that's located on the right-hand side of the screen, this is a tool. We automate the reporting for you every single day. So whenever you log into WordStream, you've got a fresh new report there that you can take a look at. Now, the report is completely white label and editable, so you can put your language in the report, you can put your logos on the report, or you can put your client's logo just to dress it up and make sure that it's your own. And what we've done here is made it an infographic style of reporting that really just hits on key core metrics, things that like business owners care about. So when we rolled the reporting tool out a few years back, we polled all of our existing agency clients who were just like, hey, what are you guys looking for in a report? And they all pretty much said the same thing, that they're looking for an easy-to-read report that they can shoot over to their clients that will cause them minimal headaches. So what we did was that we made this infographic style here just to hit on the metrics that maybe your clients aren't super PPC experts, which is totally fine, but they understand like what conversions and cost per conversions and things along those lines are. So that's how we formulated the report. You can report on the campaign level. So if your clients want to look at specific campaigns, you can absolutely do that. And then it's also custom date range. So if your client needs like daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, doesn't matter. You can formulate the reports however you want. Like I say, dress them up, make them your own, shoot them over to your client, make you guys look really, really good.
Yeah, I think especially for that success report, what a lot of folks love about it is it's really a fast way for clients to generate professional-looking business reports from AdWords data that communicate your value. So let's just make sure that you're tooting your horn on a regular basis so that your clients know that fee that you're charging them is well worth it, and also it's too much work for them to handle. The money that they're paying you guys is well spent, so you guys can go out and really start to stack up that client base. Here on the left-hand portion of the screen, this is the reporting for the call tracking. So built into the tool, we actually give you the ability to record calls, and or if you want to give your clients access, can come spot check them. If you want to export this information, the caller ID information, keyword level information, you can go ahead and export that to a CSV to incorporate it into any client's CRM or anything like that. But ultimately what it is, it's just a quick way to come and look at the volume of leads you're driving daily and give you a way to really spot check not only the quality of those, but the quality of, if you need to, your clients, people on the phone who are handling them.
So that was kind of it for everything that we wanted to show you guys. A kind of transition here. Callie, you can kind of take the lead on Q&A at the end and go over special offers and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, don't hesitate to submit any questions. We have some good ones, but we have a couple minutes, so we'd like to answer anything that we can for you. So we have a couple special offers for you today. So if you would like to have a free live demo of the WordStream Advisor to see how you can use our software to help you manage all of your accounts and your clients, then definitely let us know. If you're looking for a one-on-one AdWords assessment, go ahead and choose that. And if you are A-okay with your PPC needs, then let us know that too. All right, guys, so a couple questions about the grader. I have 2 or 3 on them. First up, does the grader tell me anything about the newly released Google ETAs?
It absolutely does. So there's a new section on the grader that's been optimized for ETAs. And essentially what it does is it tells you how many of your text ads you currently have right now that you've converted over to ETAs. So it'll give you an understanding if you have 50 text ads, hey, you've only converted 10 of them over to ETAs. Here's a really easy way to do that, and it'll provide some best practices as well. So it just pulls all that right to the forefront and makes you aware of what's going on.
Great.
Very good, very good. Keep them coming, guys. I feel like we've kind of talked about us a lot today, and we don't really like to do that, Jeff and I. So feel free to shoot us some questions. Let us know why you came here today, and if we can give you 1 or 2 things that you really came looking for, we're happy to do it now. Really would love your feedback. I know we have some more, Callie.
Yeah. So about the grader. Can you go into a little bit more detail about it and what they would get, especially the security of it? There's some concerns about exposing clients' information and inserting it. So if you could talk through that, that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. Really, really good question and something that we hear a lot. Privacy is #1 for us here at WordStream. So we don't share any data. We don't aggregate any of the data. What we're doing here is just giving you a high-level synopsis of what's going on in your clients' accounts in a digestible report for you guys to be able to look at. But couldn't stress that enough that your data could not be more secure with us if you tried. Again, at the beginning of the call, like I was saying, we've graded over $6 billion in spend, and hundreds of people use the performance grader every day. If we were going out and sharing data, I'm not sure anybody would want to continue to keep doing that. So again, couldn't stress it enough. Data couldn't be more secure with us if we tried.
Cool. And just to let you guys know, I put the URL for the grader in the chat box, so definitely feel free to run it right there. All right, next up, how many clients accounts can I manage in WordStream? Is it all in one interface, or do I need a separate subscription for every client?
No, absolutely not. You can manage as many client accounts as you want. I'm sure anyone, give us a ring or shoot us an email. We're happy to kind of detail pricing, but it's not a per client fee. It's just a matter of the total spend under management, and however many clients it takes for you to get to those numbers. The whole concept there is we break it up into tiers, and there's a lot of room for you guys to add revenue before your fee from WordStream goes up. So.
Great, thanks so much. So how does social media like Facebook ads play into the 20-minute work week?
Mm-hmm. So there's a completely different work week for social. It works similar to the way that the PPC work week works, in the sense that it analyzes all of the data in your client's accounts, tells you exactly what's going on, and then makes recommendations for you to get better results for your clients. So things that the social work week will do is identify some ads that are performing really well. And from that point, what we'll help out with is maybe some boost posting or help creating some lookalike audiences, etc. So that way you can drive more revenue for your client. On the flip side, if some ads are underperforming, we'll make some recommendations for you to get some better results for those ads. But as I'm sure some of you know in Facebook, like oftentimes it's better just to start over if the ads themselves are tired or just underperforming. So the work week in social, it's separate, works similar, and is all around efficiency and getting better results for your clients. Also part of the social platform as well, we make it obviously really easy to create all of these ads, significantly easier than it is to do it in Facebook, eliminating a lot of steps that just aren't really all that necessary. So that way, again, to piggyback off the original point here, we just want to make this an efficiency tool for you guys.
Great, thanks so much. So I know we talked a lot about reporting, so one question is there different time frames that we can pull reports on? Maybe one client wants to see something every day while the other one wants to see it on a quarterly basis. Do we have the flexibility to really customize the reports in that way?
Totally, and from an efficiency perspective, what the software allows you to do is to save templates. So if you have one report that you want to get maybe bi-weekly and one you want to send to a client quarterly, if it's different information, different campaigns, et cetera, you can set it up once. It'll automatically run. You come in, you do a little bit of customization, make it seem like you spent a lot more time on it than you did, and just white label it, shoot it off to your client.
Awesome. Now this is kind of a very generic, broad question, but any insight that you guys could offer? We have some young agencies on the line, so how do they know what pricing structure to develop and if they're charging the right amount for their clients?
Kind of a tricky question, although we get it a lot. So the majority of the agencies that we speak to will be providing a lot of different services for clients. So a lot of times they'll throw them into kind of just like a flat fee if they're going to be doing their organic and social and web design and development, etc. So for those folks, it's a little bit more difficult to answer that question and provide an actual fee structure to charge these people. If you're just going to be running AdWords for them and you want to just charge them a percentage of spend, I think industry level average would be anywhere between 10 and 20%. What we'll also see a lot of too is folks that will charge a flat fee for PPC management and then charge a percentage of spend on top of that. Now, if you go with that model, the percentage of spend would be quite a bit lower, and we would advise to be under 10% for sure. But like I say, there's just a lot of variables that go into it. If you're going to be running PPC exclusively and just want to do the percentage of spend, 10 to 20. If you charge a flat fee, bring the percentage under 10.
I'd like to just add on to that, if you don't mind. I can't tell you, how many agencies I talk to who start out, maybe their sweet spot is other services. They start out by, finally saying yes to maybe that client who has been asking them to manage PPC. what a lot of people do is they fall into a trap where they don't charge enough. It ends up taking them too long. So really, there's two ways that you can, make more money from PPC. You can, spend less time, and you can increase you can increase your billing. As far as increasing your billing goes, Jeff mentioned that percentage of spend. Personally, I love to see that on there, and that doesn't mean that anyone on the call today should go out and do that, but I'd love to see that percentage of spend model on there, because what happens then is if you're doing a great job, you're set up to win with your clients, but if they do decide to go ahead and spend more with you, then you're adding profit to your business, because if someone is spending, let's say, $10K a month, and they decide to spend $15K, you're not adding a lot of work. You're just increasing that monthly revenue coming from that individual client.
One gentleman had a question about retargeting for Facebook. So that's a big area that our Facebook platform does focus on, is retargeting campaigns. And part of what the reporting and the grader does is it brings to the forefront, again, like which of these ads in the individual Facebook retargeting campaigns are performing really well, and then makes recommendations for you to get some better results from those. But a really good question on retargeting, and that's a big area that we do focus on with the Facebook campaign.
Great, thanks. Now, for the younger agencies that they're just bringing on new PPC clients and they're just starting out in PPC, how long should a client give the agency to really prove themselves in PPC? How long does it take to kind of take off?
I guess it really depends on where the account is when you take it on. So if the account's been up and running for a long time and there's a lot of data in there, figure probably anywhere between like 3 and 6 months. If the account's been up and running for a long time and there's a lot of data in there, but the account structure is terrible, thus the data is skewed, it would probably be closer to like the 6-month time frame. To piggyback off of that, if it's going to be a build-out, build-outs are tough from a time frame, especially if they don't have a substantial budget right away. Just because with a build-out, you kind of want to see the way that folks are going to be searching, what's going to be working well, what's not, and it takes time for all of that. And it's not even like it should take time for you guys, just the way that Google works. In order to aggregate all of that data and then be able to make educated decisions on how to optimize the account, it takes time. So, for a healthy account, for you to turn around, I'd say probably anywhere between like 3 to 6 months, and then for those build-outs or the accounts that are just disasters when you take them on, you figure 6 months and even north of that.
Yeah, that's really a trap for new agencies as well, is taking on clients who either aren't committed to PPC as a lead gen medium, so they're not willing to spend a lot of money. It's hard to charge enough, and you end up spending more time than it's worth. It might even start costing an agency money, let alone like maybe 1 or 2 months in, they've decided, no, this isn't working, and you've really done a lot of work in those first couple months. So that's an important kind of component to a successful PPC agency business.
Great. All right, we have time for one more question. Is the keyword portion of the 20-minute PPC workweek updated to optimize for ETAs?
Yes, so the keyword portion would be optimized for ETAs. So like obviously all of the data that we'd be looking at, we'd be pulling in from your existing text ad campaigns, but then certainly your ETA campaigns as well. And the recommendations that we would make are based heavily off of conversion metrics and click-through rate metrics, and we would be pulling that data in from your ETA ads. That might be a little redundant there, but
and just in case, like optimizing towards optimizing each ETAs, helping with the transition is certainly something that the software is designed to do. One thing I just would like to say, having talked to a lot of people about it, like, it takes work, it takes time. Big accounts, like there's just no fast, easy way to do it. Like it takes going through and writing new ads and things like that, but we've definitely got some shortcuts in there to help kind of make the process as fast and painless as possible.
The other thing with ETAs too that we've found a lot is that people are struggling with the formatting just because it's completely different from the old text ad formatting. So the tools that we have to be able to convert the existing text ads over into ETAs are all around like formatting. So if you want to put the same content, obviously you're going to have to make them a little bigger, but the formatting is the biggest curveball that a lot of people have been running into, and that's where we can really help out with as well.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. So that concludes today's webinar. Sean, Jeff, and I would like to thank you for your time, and definitely encourage you to email us and connect with us on Twitter if you want to, continue the conversation or have any other questions that come up. We're happy to do so. And again, just as a final note, the presentation will be shared with all of you shortly via email. So definitely be on the lookout for that if you want to review the webinar.